All right, friends, it's T-Man, and I'm back with one more video. And I don't know, I spotted this video. It popped up. I was just scrolling on YouTube, and I just thought, well, I'm gonna make a video on this dude. I don't know. It's another one of these people that think they know something, whatever, online, young people, whatever. It's the, I guess it's the new generation thing, whatever. But okay, I'm gonna review this video just because I don't know who this guy is. I don't even know his channel. He's called Polarity Fitness. Okay, he's got 7,000 subscribers. Polarity Fitness. Low volume training, 2 workouts a week. I just watched the first few seconds, so okay.
Fuck people that say.
Off the bat, he doesn't look very dense. He looks very puffy. This looks very sarcoplasmic-y, but okay, whatever. He's got semi-low body fat because he's an ectomorph. He's an ectomorph and he's pumped. And I'm pretty sure he's on a carbohydrate diet, a carbohydrate drug-induced carbohydrate drug diet. Just like everybody else, man. The sugar, drug, carbohydrate diet, building these sarcoplasmic muscles. But that is, again, I'm just reviewing this video. It's my opinion, okay? That's all it is. Right now, it's just some opinions, some facts, some stuff, whatever. We know that there's myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. There's 2 things. So he's gonna say something in the video, and that's the reason why I'm saying this.
You need to live in the gym, train 4 to 6 days a week, build a great physique. This is literally 2 workouts per week, 2 hours per week in the gym, man. No need to live in the gym, no need to sacrifice your life to build a great physique. That's complete and utter fucking bullshit. 2 workouts per week, 5 exercises in each workout.
And he got a great physique that's really puffy. But in the lighting here, he looks almost big because low body fat. Low body fat on a skinny body and a puffy body with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy makes you look better than you are. But
2 sets per exercise.
Now let's see him in the light, what he looks like in his tank top. He looks small. He looks small. I don't know if this is a home gym or what this is exactly. Okay, I'm getting exhausted just watching this already. Oh Jesus. Man, if this guy moves any slower, I think I'm gonna fall asleep in a moment. All right. Yes. Foo. Yes, okay. All right. Interesting.
So working out twice a week is much more effective than working out 4 to 6 days a week.
Why is that? Oh, he's gonna tell us why in a minute.
Two primary reasons. So
Yes.
the first reason is that you need to train hard to stimulate muscle growth. And the more exercise
Wait a second. You need to train hard to stimulate muscle growth? Well, I've already gone through this. We've gone through that in science. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to visually see that mass on that myofibrillar. I'm talking about myofibrillar hypertrophy. I'm not talking about eating your plant drug friggin' carbohydrate diet, dude. Get it? Drug induced carbohydrate diet, okay? Eating drugs all day. And then building sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles, and then trying to convince people like me and a friggin' master in bodybuilding that that weights are gonna build you muscles. You have to be out of your mind, okay, dude? You're out of your mind. Ain't no weight builds a muscle. If anything, they may pump glycogen into the muscle because that's an energy source. Carbohydrates do not build muscles, but they will store them as energy and as glycogen inside the muscle. They call that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles. I guess this dude doesn't know anything about bodybuilding.
exercises, sets, reps, training as you do, the more your focus and effort is spread thin. So as a result of having so much recovery between...
Oh man, whatever. Recovery. He's an endurance athlete. He's like a runner. And we're recovering now with glycogen in the muscle. And look, I got a physique all of a sudden. Hello. Yeah, man. What's the second part? I want to hear the second part.
workouts, you step into every session fully...
He's like every other lifting slave. Guys that lift in the gym, they keep coming in the gym. He's doing what? 2 hours a day in the gym? I don't know what the hell he said. I think he's coming in often. He says he shortened it. He's coming in. I don't know. He's coming in often lifting, and it's gym lifting slave, bro. That's carbohydrate training. That's why you're recovering. You're recovering because you're an endurance athlete now, lifting as a lifting slave in the gym, bro. Get it, man? But whatever.
Fresh, fully recovered, and able to train really, really hard and stimulate a...
To do what? To stimulate more glycogen in the muscle to create more artificial muscles called sarcoplasmic muscles, dude?
lot of growth. Most people who are working out...
You don't stimulate a lot of growth by lifting a weight. There's protein synthesis and protein breakdown. So now you want to overcome, man, okay. I'm going to really explain this one more time. Weights do not build muscles. When you lift weights, your muscles are now in a broken down state. They're breaking down proteins more than you would normally build up and break down walking throughout the day. You understand me? Well, somebody's going to convince you that, well, I stressed the cell and it's going to magically grow with, I took some magic beans. I sold my cow at the market. They sold me these magic beans. And if I eat them, they're going to make the muscles grow magically because I stimulated them. But this is stupid, okay? Man, you have these, okay, man, whatever. You have myonuclei. They synthesize protein, okay? That's what they do. So you lift a weight, right? Okay. I'm not saying that nothing's going on there because you're lifting a weight. There's something definitely going on with the myofibrillar. But I'm telling you, it's based on eating food. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to see that mass visually on that myofibrillar, that mass. Okay, dude? Now, if you're not doing that, if protein synthesis is not exceeding breakdown and you're eating more glycogen than protein and you're lifting in the gym as a lifting slave and you're using the words I'm recovering, then you are an endurance athlete. And so what are you loading in your muscles? Eating carbohydrates, slave diet, sugar, eating sugar because they don't build myofibrillars. You're building sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's how I know how he's lying. Okay, dude? So somebody's going to write me in the comment section, try to debunk me. I don't care.
4 to 6 days a week, their focus and effort is diluted and they're just going through the motions in their training and they never actually are...
No, this guy is delusional. He's delusional. He's just, and then he's going to be like, I have to maintain the muscle. You don't have to maintain myofibrillar growth once you've grown mass on the myofibrillar. You don't maintain it with lifting weights. You maintain it, like I said in my previous video, when protein synthesis be net zero. They tell you in science everything. Okay, dude? It's in my videos. So Man, I don't know what he's talking about. Food, that protein, the protein will maintain this muscle mass, okay? If you actually built muscle mass. But now the problem, the reason why you're shrinking all the time, because sarcoplasmic, but you can't tell the difference because you think you got strong. You think you got better and stronger. You got stronger at the weight. No, you got better at lifting that weight through motor units and androgen receptors. That's artificial strength. That's artificial. You induced it artificially by lifting a weight. So your motor units, they proliferated. That's what you got them to proliferate. That's the stimulus. You could call that an adaptation, but it's artificial because you can't visually see it, touch it, or anything like that. And so you can't see it. You're just good at lifting now. See what I mean? But you didn't build any more myofibrillar growth. You didn't increase your natural strength.
Able to train hard enough to stimulate muscle growth. And the second reason is to give you plenty of
You don't train hard enough to stimulate muscle growth. Weights don't grow muscles. Food does, dude. Get it? Yeah, maybe you stimulated something there. You damaged some contractile protein, so you want to build them up. You have to build them up. You got to be in a positive nitrogen balance. That means you're anabolic. You've got to eat protein and a lot of it.
Recovery between workouts in order to facilitate consistent strength gains, because it's that progressive overload.
No, it's not. That you're progressively overloading to proliferate the motor units and increase androgen receptors. But if you stop lifting, they go away. That's why it's artificial. It's not based on your natural strength. Now, if you increase your natural strength, will you get stronger? Will you have to practice at lifting some certain weights with your natural strength? No, because if the myofibrillar actually got bigger in size, then you got physically stronger, and anything that you lift will be a lot easier. It doesn't require practice anymore, and you can maintain it by being in this balance of protein synthesis. You need to eat meat. You need to eat meat, real meat, bro. Get it?
It's that stringing together of progressive workouts where you're getting stronger over time that lead up to incredible physique.
No, you're not. You're getting better at lifting, and you're eating this carbohydrate drug-induced diet, so you're increasing the sarcoplasm. That's all you're doing, and it can hold a lot of glycogen in there. And believe me, I know you people. You are always eating more glycogen than you are eating protein.
Development.
He's making stuff up. He doesn't know anything about lifting. He's like these fake vegans. They're going to convince you they have a nice physique and all that, or they built a physique, or they're living off vegan diet. More bullshit. Yeah, this is getting boring, man. I can't watch this anymore. That's enough of that. I want to hear.
When you need a mortgage,
volume is because we've known for a long time now that the primary driver of muscle growth is mechanical tension. It's not volume.
The primary driver of muscle growth is protein synthesis. Needs to exceed that breakdown to see that mass on that myofibrillar. Do you want me to prove it? Do I need to bring out NCBI report again? Just check NCBI, okay, dude? Look, man, Christ, I gotta bring this up every time. What is the primary driver of muscle mass? See this thing right here? This is NCBI here at the bottom. Nutrition, muscle, protein synthesis, descriptive review, okay? Skeletal muscles continue breaking down, If muscle is going to gain mass, if muscle is going to maintain its mass, the net level of protein balance must equal what? 0. The net level of protein balance must equal what? 0. That's what maintains muscle mass, not weightlifting. Now, If muscle is going to gain mass, then protein synthesis must exceed protein breakdown. Get it? Fucking get it, dude? So it isn't mechanical tension now, is it? Right, guys? It isn't mechanical tension.
Volume, right? Volume plays a role in
What did he say? Oh, he's going to say volume. Look, I'll play it one more time for you, what he's going to say here, okay?
volume over intensity. Mechanical tension. It's not volume, right? Volume, right? Contrarian fitness approach where I focus on intensity over volume is because we've known for a long time now that the primary driver of muscle growth is mechanical tension.
Did you just hear what he just said? That did you see what I just proved? Did you hear what this guy just said? Now, you think that's intelligent? See, this is what they want you to believe, the fitness industry. The primary driver is mechanical tension of muscle mass. How can muscle mass grow from a mechanical tension? How does it grow? On a breatharian diet? What the hell is he talking about? A mechanical tension can cause muscle damage, but then it's protected by the repeated bout effect phenomena. That's why you guys call it newbie gains when you first come in the gym, because I explained this in my videos. I told you, untrained muscles, unaccustomed and unfamiliar forms cause what? Muscle damage. It causes the muscle to be damaged. The progenitor awakens. It comes out, splits, divides, increases. It's whatever. It donates its nuclei. I'm not gonna tell the whole thing that it does, but it donates its nuclei to that domain to do what? To support further muscle growth. Okay. That's what it does. And so you get it the first time you come in, and you're actually getting myofibrillar growth there, but there isn't any mass. You got quite a bit of growth in myofibrillar and maybe a little bit of mass. I can't even say for sure, okay? You see what I mean? But anyways, this is ridiculous.
It's not volume, right? Volume plays a role in muscle growth, don't get me wrong, but you just don't.
Volume doesn't play a role in muscle growth. Protein synthesis does. Needs to exceed that breakdown. You'll need to be in a positive nitrogen balance, meaning you need to be anabolic.
Don't need as much as most people have led you to believe. And so here's the issue with this whole idea of focusing on volume over intensity.
And this guy has 7,000 subscribers, and me, I can barely eke out on my old channel 3,000. It took me years to get 3,000 on my old channel before I got taken down for copyright. And then I opened this new channel, and I can barely get 1,400 subscribers. I'm just thinking maybe I should just quit YouTube. Look, they took away my thing now. I didn't really appeal it. I don't know if I have enough time to even go back and try to reappeal it. They took away my monetization. They're not allowing me to make money off commercials, at least on my channel now. So it's worthless for me to do anything anymore on YouTube. If I'm not getting paid for doing this, then what is the point? What's the point of doing any of this, educating people? What's the point of educating people? I should just make videos and simply confirm people's fake beliefs and tell them, yes, the driver of muscle mass on the myofibrillar on muscles is mechanical tension. It's not volume. Get it, dude? Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Intensity. If you look at public gym goers, if you look at, the majority of the training population, they're all training 4 to 6 days a week. If you look at their...
He's small. He's tiny. Look at him. His arms, his shoulders. He doesn't even look like he lifts. Okay? He got a little bit of pump there. He was under the goon lighting and trying to impress you. Let him take off his shirt now. He looks smaller than Alpha Destiny.
Training, they're essentially all...
How could somebody so small try to convince me, this guy's so small, probably weighs like 150 pounds, and he's trying to convince me that mechanical tension is going to build muscles out of thin air.
Just going through the motions, right? And that's because there's a trade-off between volume and intensity. So the more volume you do in the gym...
Listen to the way he's talking. I told you before, this is the way my father once taught me. He was a smart guy, an American. He told me there's a lot of people out there, they fake sophistication. The kid is a faker of sophistication. Do you understand me? He thinks he knows something, but he doesn't know anything. I told you, I'm a human. I don't know anything. I have to go off my experiences.
The more training days, the more exercises, the more sets you do, the more your intensity has to drop. And what happens is that your focus...
Has he tried to go on a pure protein diet to see if this whatever he's doing there, it, it's going to build these muscles instead of sarcoplasmic. See what I mean? Did he drop this like the carbohydrate diet, the drug induced carbohydrate diet? He could drop it. He can experiment. He can go back and forth. He could do the carbohydrate drug induced diet, just that alone without any protein, and see if it builds him these phony muscles by lifting. And then he'll figure it out. And then later just drop all that. Drop that, don't do it anymore, and then go and do a carnivore diet and see how on a protein diet whether these muscles are going to grow, doing this so-called lifting, mechanical tension, whatever the hell he's doing there.
Your effort, your resources are diluted amongst so much shit that
How would he know if he's never experimented with any of these things? Come on, man.
subconsciously you hold yourself back because you know deep down, like, oh fuck, I have a lot of work to get through. I better conserve my energy and intensity.
Whatever.
And this leads to people not being able to actually place tension on the muscle, which again is the primary driver of growth, because they can.
Tension is the primary growth. Tension is the prime. He said mechanical tension. Tension is the primary growth. Bro. Did you actually hear that? Oh, so it's not sarcoplasmic and it's not myofibrillar. It's tension is the primary growth. Okay, it's not protein. It's not. Oh man, I don't know. I'm like whatever.
Never do justice to any set or any exercise they do in the gym. They can never train with a high enough level of intensity to actually place maximum tension on the muscle. So we have a bunch of people literally investing so much time, so much effort into the gym, getting fuck all results. And that's because volume is nowhere near as important as actually picking a handful of big compound exercises, training them hard, and getting stronger at them over time.
What is he talking about? He doesn't even know the reason why he can't build new myofibrillars. Your body doesn't allow you to build muscle because it needs to carry you through a famine. That's why it has an M&D size limit. Your muscle has an M&D size limit because it needs to carry you through a famine. That's why in myonuclear domain size limit PubMed, it says it reached the ceiling limit during hypertrophic process beyond where the satellite cell can donate any more extra nuclei to that domain to support further muscle growth. See what I mean? So does he know how to get over that? How do you support further muscle growth? How do you do that when it reaches an M&D size limit?
And if you look at most people, they are not seeing that gradual progression over time because the more volume you do.
Look, I can prove that these are all false. What is it? PubMed. Myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength but not the mass of the limb muscles. How does myocytic androgen receptor control the strength? How does it control the strength? It widens, it gets bigger. Proteins create more of these androgen receptors. It's an adaptation, but protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown in order to increase more of these androgen receptors, giving you more force production. See what I mean? That would help. I'm not saying you can't accumulate it to a certain degree, but if protein synthesis never exceeds breakdown, you're stagnated. You're stagnated.
The higher likelihood of overtraining. So the best approach is to do a small amount of training, but push that training really, really hard. And then what happens is, since you have so much recovery between workouts, you're able to...
Yeah, just push that training really hard. Has nothing to do with eating, nothing.
Step in the gym, train really hard, place maximum tension on the muscle, and then get out of the gym, rest, recover, come back a little bit stronger. And
he's just regurgitating other stuff that he heard these other pinball friggin' YouTuber fitness slaves, fitness recruiting slaves tell him. He's just regurgitating the same stuff.
Achieve progressive workouts over time, where you're seeing progressive overload, which is ultimately the byproduct of muscle growth. So
now he says progressive overload is the byproduct of muscle growth. It isn't. That's why nobody's growing in the gym. Nobody's growing.
In order to not interfere.
Nobody's growing those myofibrillars. That's why I showed you that thing 6 weeks. 6 weeks, what are these people getting? They're trained young men and training in the gym. They didn't say untrained, they said trained. They're getting what when they do high volume? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. He's sarcoplasmic.
fear with my muscle and strength building pursuits in the gym. I like to keep my cardio low intensity, right? So the problem with doing intense running and
Why do you need cardio? Why do you need to do cardio? So you can age yourself, you can get a heart attack. You want to get cardiovascular disease. You want to get a nervous problem in your body. Do you want to cause degenerative disc disease? You want to have knee problems, joint problems? Like, why do you need to do this exactly? Are you a professional runner?
doing
Are you a sprinter?
high intensity interval training and all these different forms of cardio is that they not only do they increase your appetite, making it harder to stay lean and making it more likely that you
Increase your appetite. Well, it's increasing his appetite because he's overfed, undernourished, because he's eating a carbohydrate, drug-induced diet. I know this for a fact.
eat your calories. They actually dig a hole into your
He just said calories. He's not even mentioning eating a high animal protein, animal fat diet as energy, using animal fat as energy.
recuperative abilities. And when you're natural, when you're not taking performance enhancing drugs,
That's natural. You're creating unnatural. You're eating an unnatural diet called carbohydrates. So you're creating unnatural strength and unnatural muscles called sarcoplasmic muscles. What are you talking about, dude? You're eating plant drugs all day. You're eating them called sugar.
you have finite recovery. You have finite resources to plow.
How can somebody compare themselves and say, hey, man, I'm injecting plant DNA in me, but I'm eating plant DNA, so it's not the same as taking steroids. So I'm eating plant DNA, creating these fake sarcoplasmic muscles, and they're also increasing my strength artificially because I'm eating carbs, which is plants. It's plants, dude. Steroids, they're plants. You inject them, and they have toxins in them. The steroids have toxins, and these plants have toxins. They make you crazy.
Into your training and to dedicate towards the building of muscle and strength. So if you want to make the fastest
You're building muscle and strength, but you're building sarcoplasmic muscle. It's not associated with strength. Myofibrillar's growth is associated with that, and that's very specific training. That's based on muscle damage training. Yeah, it's very specific, and you need to eat a lot of protein because it could become apoptotic. Man, I don't understand anything he says.
progress in the gym, you want to take all those resources and just shove it into your training. And I often tell people, who come up to me, they're like, man, like I love playing basketball, I love doing martial arts. If that's the case, by all means do it, right? Because polarity fitness is not about being obsessed with the gym. It's about having, it's about having your fitness style.
Yeah, it's about giving misinformation. Is that it?
But it's also about having these different things that you like doing outside of the gym and being able to have time for those different things as a result of not living in the gym. So if it's a matter of cardio is required.
I bet you the kid wears a small size shirt, extra small size there. It's a small shirt, it's a tiny little shirt. He's small, he's tiny.
For the hobbies I love doing, by all means, don't stop doing them, right? That would defeat the whole purpose. But if you're going on...
I'm not telling anybody to stop doing their hobbies. He just doesn't know what he's doing.
on intense runs, you're doing all these forms of cardio in attempts to build a great physique. You don't need to do that, right? This is a complete myth, and cardio is completely counterproductive when it comes to building a great physique.
You don't need cardio in bodybuilding. This is a calisthenic exercise. Why do you need all these weights around your waist to do these pull-ups? Why do you need them? Why does he need them? You want to rip your shoulder blades apart completely so then you're weakened? You're completely weakened later? Your shoulder blades, your back will be weakened? I don't understand any of this stuff, but okay, whatever. It's funny, he thinks that heavy weight is going to build a muscle. I have to go really heavy, like he said. I got a progressive overload, and mechanical tension is the driver of muscle mass. A muscle mass. Oh, man. Far from it, dude.
So the issue with a lot of the scientific data regarding training volume and how to build
Scientific data? What about it? I got scientific data.
muscle in the most optimal way possible is that first, a lot of these subjects used in these sort of studies that are seeking to find the optimal amount of training volume, the optimal amount of sets per muscle group, is that these are a lot of times untrained lifters. And typically untrained lifters.
Yeah, there's a lot of those studies. I don't read those studies. They're untrained lifters. Yes, what about them? What about them?
And actually a lot of even trained lifters don't actually know how to train hard and push their sets close to failure. And it comes back to this idea of, the trade-off between volume
and
intensity. The more volume you do, the less intensity you can bring. The more intensity you do.
Here's the funny part. He was starting to talk about untrained lifters in these so-called scientific reports, and these untrained lifters. Okay, and these all of these untrained lifters got what? They got results, right? Okay, why does somebody that's untrained get results? Why do they get results? Because they're doing something they're unaccustomed to doing, right? Okay, what does science say? What does science say that gets muscles to damage? It says unaccustomed exercise is known to cause what? Widespread muscle damage. What is muscle damage associated with? When protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown. It's associated with growth because you're in positive nitrogen balance. It's associated with repair and growth when you're in a positive nitrogen balance. See how easy that is, man?
The more your volume drops. So these people are essentially going through the motions. And if you look at them, if you were to watch these people who are the test subjects of a lot of these training volume studies, they're probably leaving like 5 reps in the tank. And no fucking shit. Like if you leave 5 reps in the tank on every set you do, you can do a ton of training volume, right?
No, they're not. They're not doing anything. What they're doing is they're untrained. And so untrained muscles are associated with muscle damage. Untrained, unaccustomed, and unfamiliar forms are associated with muscle damage. And that is the driver of myofibrillar. That would be the stimulus for myofibrillar growth. But the driver of myofibrillar growth is when when you're in a positive nitrogen balance, meaning anabolic, meaning protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown. That's what it means. So you're not apoptotic, dude.
Big issue is that anyone can do high volume training for a few months. Anyone can fucking do that. It's about, can you do that for years on end? And the answer for most people is no.
Yeah, for most people it's no. For dumb people that don't know bodybuilding, it's no. You want to know why? Because he can't see beyond the trees. He doesn't understand that there are other factors that are involved in getting that damage to come back. See, here's the problem. He doesn't understand what a myonuclear domain size limit is. It says reaches a ceiling limit beyond where the progenitor, the satellite cell, can donate any more extra nuclei to that domain to support further muscle growth. Okay, so when you're pushing this domain and you're in a positive nitrogen balance and we're pushing that domain, we need more of these nuclei. So as we're lifting, most likely people that are even adapted, most likely they'll do something that they're unaccustomed to doing. They'll get some damage there, and they may accidentally push that domain. But he doesn't understand that. I don't do it accidentally. I do it purposefully. Do you understand me? I push that domain purposefully. That's how I keep growing, because you need a donation of these nuclei by the satellite cell to do what? To support further muscle growth. We're talking about real myofibrillar growth. I'm not talking about sarcoplasmic, fake, artificial, carbohydrate-induced drug addict, carbohydrate, whatever muscles.
Because doing a lot of volume tends to lead to overtraining and stagnation, and that's why most people who are in the gym
because those people are adapted. They're breaking down proteins, and they're not accumulating more of it. They're just not eating enough. There's just no point what they're doing there. They're eating a carbohydrate-induced energy diet. Now, the carbs can preserve the protein, the small amount of protein that you're eating, to probably do protein turnover because you're eating more carbs than protein. So you're never completely going to shrink out, but you're never going to grow. You're never going to grow just because you're doing that.
4 to 6 days a week, doing 10 to 20 sets per muscle group, they're all going through the motions and they never actually see that gradual progression over.
Because you're an endurance athlete now. You're adapted, you become an endurance athlete. You're lifting for endurance purposes in the gym.
Time. And that's because doing a lot of volume is not the productive way to build a great physique. You want to drop the volume and up the intensity. And therefore, every time you step in the gym, you'll be able to treat.
It's just another slave man that can't afford to eat to build muscles. So he wants to convince you that, lifting is going to somehow do all these things for you magically, even though he's eating a fake slave diet called carbohydrate, drug-induced diet, sugar.
Train really, really hard because you're actually fresh and recovered and not just like completely fatigued. You'll also be able to achieve progression over time.
Nah, you're not. He's always going to be small and skinny like this. I can guarantee you. He'll be small and skinny. Even Alpha Destiny's small and skinny for the longest time. He's been small and skinny, under 150 pounds or something, whatever. Yeah, he says he's dropped some body fat to try to look better on his channel, but he's never changed. He's never built any muscle, Alpha Destiny. He just lowered the body fat and he eats carbohydrates. He looks pumped out on carbohydrates, like this kid. Yeah, I don't buy any of this.
I'm in a hard set of squats. I'm not focused on anything but becoming that fucking set. Like being completely in that set.
Yeah,
and
sure, of course. I'm being in that set. Yes, that's going to make it grow. Okay. Anything else here?
Like on the scale, I've noticed like my body fat levels are changing. Also, like, especially the strength training is really helping. I'm kind of like, it's going to sound like weird, but like...
How can this guy train anybody? He doesn't know anything. Okay.
I feel like, as weird as it sounds, I'm gonna get my results faster than I feel like I deserve them.
what do you mean? Like in terms of like once you get the result, keeping it?
It happens so fast. I feel like when I cut down and get my results at the rate that I'm going, I feel like it's going faster than I deserve. Like I don't know if I'm gonna keep the discipline. That's one thing that's I'm a little worried about.
Yeah, some things work. Everything works in the beginning and then it stops working. And then you need to make it work. But you don't know what you're doing. You're not making it work properly.
Because I noticed, like, I don't know if I'm learning enough discipline at the rate that my weight is coming
Discipline?
off.
You don't need discipline.
You don't want.
You're enjoying the
This kid's coaching people? This is crazy.
process throughout, then you...
Wow. This is scary. What are those, like 10-pound weight, 10-pound bumper plates on each side? Strenuous 10-pound. Okay.
Adding weight to the bar over time is crucial to make sure that you are continuously adding more tension, right? So if I stick with this weight for a few weeks, my body is going to adapt to the tension that this weight is placing on my muscle.
Yeah, it's gonna adapt by proliferating motor units and possibly giving you some more androgen receptors for that forced production. Yes, okay.
And therefore, I will need to increase the load in order to increase the tension. And
you increase the load a little bit so that you can get the motor units to proliferate and more of these androgen receptors. Yes, for forced production. Okay.
progressive overload, what I'm able to add to the bar over time in weight is a sign that my physique is improving and that I am gaining muscle, because all else
You don't gain muscle from lifting weights. Weights don't build muscles.
equal, a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle. And most people...
Yes, a bigger myofibrillar is a stronger muscle, but a bigger muscle, a muscle looking big with fluid in it called sarcoplasmic non-contractile proteins is not a stronger muscle, dude. Get it, man? Get it?
do not see that progressive overload over time. And the way to actually make sure that you are seeing that muscle growth over time is, again, to train really, really hard in the gym, stimulate growth.
I love this. Train really, really hard and stimulate growth. So to grow, you stimulate growth. That's how your body grows through stimulating it. If you stimulate it, it magically grows. It doesn't grow from eating food or doing your daily task. It's stimulated and it magically grows out of a breatharian diet. Yes, okay.
And then get out, let your body rest,
Sure.
recover, give it time to grow. And then what happens?
Give it time to grow, rest, and give it time to grow. How does it grow? Like, what's the rest? How much do you need to eat to make it grow, dude? Like, how much do you need to eat, and what do you need to eat to make it grow exactly? Could you tell us?
Happens is that is what allows you to build.
You don't need food to grow. You just need to stimulate it, and it will magically grow. On what? Will it grow on sugar? Will sugar make it grow?
Muscle, and then you come back to the gym and you'll notice, like, oh shit, I'm a little bit stronger, and that's because your body's built muscle. And then
No, that's not why you got better at lifting those weights. It was because you progressively overloaded. Your body adapted by giving you more motor units and these androgen receptors. You didn't gain any muscle because you didn't do it properly.
and you'll need to add some weight to the bar to increase that tension. And you need to keep doing this over time. And then seeing that rate of strength gain is a sign that your training is working and that you are building muscle.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It'll fool you because you're eating a drug-induced carbohydrate diet, and the carbs are loading in there. Every time you keep coming back, they keep loading more and more. It's an energy source, and you may be even getting fat too, because it depends on the type of carbs you're eating. It's complex carbs load a lot better in the muscle. They don't spike the insulin. And then there's simple carbohydrates, like regular carbohydrates that you're eating. See what I mean? Those carbohydrates, they can turn into fat, into triglyceride, which is an energy source. So triglyceride's an energy source, and these other carbs you're eating, they'll load in the muscle. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water are drawn between the skin and the muscle into the muscle, giving you what? These sarcoplasmic fake artificial muscles. You're a fake natty. So he's a fake natty. Okay.
I just strive to maintain my strength, and even then, sometimes it drops a little bit.
Sometimes it drops. I strive to maintain being good at lifting these weights, and sometimes it drops. Why does it drop? Because it's artificial strength. Get it?
And that's completely fine, because the way bulking and cutting works is that...
Oh, I love this one. Bulking and cutting. Bulking, does it say in science bulking? It says protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown, right? To see that mass on that myofibrillar. It doesn't say bulking. Bulking, he's talking about eating an artificial diet. Bulking, eating carbohydrates. That's sarcoplasmic muscle, and it will make you fat. If you bulk, because you're now eating a lot of carbs, and you're eating some complex carbs, so the complex will load in the muscle, and the other carbs will make you fat. You're going to get fat. So you're going to get 2 in 1, sarcoplasmic and fat. That's all it's going to make you. Bulking does not exist. It makes you fat. Bulking doesn't get you over MND size limit. Bulking doesn't exceed that breakdown in protein synthesis does. Dude.
When you bulk, you essentially create a new set point, right? You create a new set point.
No, you don't. You get fat. That's what you get.
For the amount of muscle that your body can hold. And thanks
Carbohydrates don't build muscles, dude. Get it? Get it?
to muscle memory, you can get your muscle to a certain level, and then you can lose it a little bit, and it comes back very, very easily.
No, you're wrong. He's wrong. You got a sarcoplasmic muscle, and then you lost the sarcoplasmic muscles, and then they came back really quick when you started eating your drug-induced carbohydrate diet, dude.
And that's sort of how bulking and cutting works. You create a new set point through packing on lots of muscle, and then you cut, and you inevitably lose a little bit of muscle and strength. But then once you go back into a calorie surplus and you start eating more, you will regain that lost muscle, and you'll be bigger at a leaner body fat percentage, right? So you don't have to sort of stress about losing a little bit of strength. It's not a problem. A lot of times it's actually just because of
You're going to lose a little bit of these motor units and a little bit of these androgen receptors to lift something heavy. Yes, okay.
glycogen depletion. And as soon as you bring your calories up a little bit, that sort of strength.
I like that one. Glycogen depletion. It doesn't deplete in the sarcoplasm. It's loading in the sarcoplasm, this fluid.
That muscle comes back very fast, and you sort of have to be okay.
Yeah, it comes back very fast because it's all glycogen. It's all sarcoplasmic.
With the fact that when you're cutting, anabolic state, you're not in an anabolic state.
I like that one. When you're cutting, you're in a catabolic state. You're not in an anabolic state. Okay, what puts you in an anabolic state, kid? What makes you in an anabolic state? If if cutting these so-called calories, whatever, makes you in a catabolic state, dieting, whatever you're talking about, then what puts you in an anabolic state?
Where you're growing, you're constantly gaining muscle, you're gaining strength. You're in a catabolic state. Your body's actively eating itself. You're losing.
He says, yeah, anabolic state where you're constantly growing and da. Okay, what's an anabolic growth state? How do you get into an anabolic growth state? Please tell us.
Your body actively, right? You're losing mass.
What is that associated, dude, if you're in an anabolic growth state? Come on, man.
And that's something that you have to be okay with in your mind, because if you're not okay with that, you'll never actually get lean, because you'll have conflicting goals. You want to be really big, you want to be really strong, but you also want to be lean. That's not how it works.
Man, this guy's like Blaha Fitness. This is ridiculous.
Just because it's simple, it's got a lot of nutrition.
Look at that. He's a slave. He's eating a slave diet. He's eating broccoli. It's got a lot of nutrition. There you go. This just says it all. Look at his food that he's eating. Let's see this. Let's see this food. I want to see him in the kitchen now. Enough of this lifting. This is boring. I don't care about lifting.
So my dinner structure is pretty much always the same. It's always a protein source, a carb, such as either potatoes.
Man, the onions, highly toxic. They're extremely toxic. That's why your eyes are reeking in the room, because the toxicity is in the air.
Rice or pasta.
What is that? Rice? What is that?
Pasta, and then a vegetable, which is usually broccoli.
Okay, so he has some garlic, he has onions, and he has a little tiny bit of, one little breast of chicken there. He's cutting up in little tiny pieces.
So I'll usually rotate between like chicken and beef, but
that's not enough to make you in a positive nitrogen balance. That little piece of chicken is not enough, dude. It's not enough. But you got a high carbohydrate, drug-induced diet for sure.
Tend to stick more towards chicken breast, but it always has those elements, and that's what I
look. He's got all that rice. He's going to eat more rice, more vegetables, more stuff than he would eat protein.
I like. That's what keeps me really full and satisfied on a cut.
Pure slave diet. He's on a cut, satisfied on a cut.
And I also do that when I'm bulking. This is one of my favorite meals.
When he's bulking, getting fat. Okay.
And I eat this pretty much every single day, just because it's simple, it's got a lot of nutrition, and it keeps me full. Tell me a bit about...
He eats this every single day, a high carbohydrate diet, okay?
How your dinner meal is different from the rest of your meals.
Yeah, so my dinner meal is different.
Man, he boiled down everything, pretty much overcooked it, boiled down. Chicken is putrid. You have to cook it fully. You can't eat it semi-raw or even rare or anything like that. So it's completely depleted. They've lied to you. It's completely dead of any nutrient value, the chicken. Very small amount of nutrients left in there, if anything, probably completely desolate, I don't know. And he's drinking a Coca-Cola. Sugar, 32 grams in that Coke, man. And it's filled with, phosphoric acid, which eats your bones. It makes your teeth and bones weak. Carbs weaken your bones. They make you lose your teeth. That's what they do. Well, how do they do that? They weaken you. That's how they do that, from the inside out.
in that it's a very sizable fucking portion of food.
That is so gross, man. It's filled with carbs. There's more carbs than protein in there, and they're anti-nutrient. So when you do eat that chicken with these vegetables and rice and everything, rice is filled with arsenic. Like, that's gonna make you healthy. Let me lift and see how much arsenic I could get into my DNA, so I can damage my DNA. Yes. So that is also poison, and that is not your natural diet. Your natural diet is a carnivore diet, and beef is preferably your diet. You can eat it almost raw and get away with it. Couldn't do that with these putrid carnivore animals like chicken and pork. They're filled with bacteria and viruses and fucking, what do you call it, worms and shit.
My meals throughout the day tend to be a little bit lighter because I think of my day as like a
Parasites.
fucking feast and famine, right? I want to basically conquer throughout the day. I want to stay light. I want to stay focused.
You're not. You're eating a slave diet. You just don't know it because you've been conditioned that way because you're a slave. You don't even know you're a slave.
I don't want to feel weighed down
You've also made yourself into a lifting slave, kid.
by a ton of food, so I like to keep my meals very light throughout the day, eat fewer calories, and then when the evening comes and I finish my work for the day, I like to just eat food and then, pass the fuck out a few hours later.
That's not food. I feel sorry for this kid, man. I feel sorry for him. Really, honestly, I feel sorry for these people, these gym lifting slaves. This is horrible, man. This is like, when I see this stuff now, it's like, man, bro, I feel terrible.
What I would recommend strong.
I'm going to direct this video to him. I hope he sees this video and he listens to me. He may take it the wrong way and say, well, he's a hater because he's trying to help me. He's hating me, helping me, telling me the truth. No, telling you the truth is not hating, bro. I'm trying to help you. But if you want me to make another video confirming everything you say is the truth, and that's okay, you should eat a slave diet and be a lifting slave, gym slave, and that's the driver of muscle growth is weights drive muscle. They make your muscles grow magically, like Jack and the Beanstalk. Then yeah, I could do that for you if you like that.
Is that you pick your sort of meal frequency based upon your appetite. So if you're someone with a huge appetite like mine.
Here, kid, I have a question for you. What makes broccoli so healthy for you? What's in there? Sugar, right? Sugar, fiber, and toxins called oxalates. That's what they do. They will cripple you over time. They will mess you up. They'll cause DNA damage. They'll age you. Accelerated aging. All this stuff accelerates aging. And so does that Coca-Cola is nasty. It's filled with like corn syrup in there anyway. It doesn't even have sugar. Man, it's just so cheaply made. And lifting is going to accelerate aging. This lifting slave stuff, dude. You're just chasing something. It's elusive. It's fake. And rice has arsenic in it, dude. It's unhealthy for you. So how could something unhealthy be healthy for you? The broccoli is extremely unhealthy. It has sulforaphane in it. It's very unhealthy for you. It has oxalates. That rice and it's all sugar. It's sugar, cellulose, and toxins. The only thing you have good there is the chicken, and it's overcooked. It's dead.
I was a fat fuck growing up, and that appetite is still with me, right? So if that's the case for you as well, you'll want to eat fewer.
So overfed, undernourished, is that it? That's a good thing?
But bigger meals. If you're someone with a small appetite and you struggle to get your calories in, you'll want to eat smaller meals.
Yeah, calories are carbohydrates. We don't want to eat any calories, dude.
Spread out throughout the day. And that's my general philosophy when it comes to meal frequency. Most people put way too...
He's too young to know anything. His general philosophy. It's not his general philosophy. He's been conditioned and trained to eat that way from his parents. His parents put him on the slave diet. Everything that he's doing, he saw somebody else doing it. You ever heard this when you went to school in grade school? Anybody ever tell you this? Monkey see, monkey do. Remember how they used to make fun of you in school? They used to say, hey, monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, dude.
too much weight on meal frequency though. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you just need to hit the few principles that you need to hit, which is like hit your calories, hit your protein, get enough whole foods, and then however you can eat 6 meals a day, you can eat 2 meals a day, you can eat fucking, you know, however many meals you want to eat to hit on those principles, to hit your calories and protein. It's whatever. You just got to find what works best for you and your lifestyle. And this is what works best for me. Save the calories mostly for my dinner meal and just eat light throughout the day to keep myself focused.
It's Soup, I love you.
Well, he's back to the lifting slave stuff. Okay. Tired of this. More lifting slave stuff. Okay. What's he gonna
Periods of time, you tend to develop some overuse issues, right? And the reason being is because isolation exercises are single joint movements, and it puts a lot more stress on the individual joint than doing a compound exercise, which is multi-joint and puts a lot less stress on the individual joints. So people are under this misconception.
What are you talking about? It puts the same amount of stress on every joint. If anything, it puts more stress on your joints doing compound movements because you're able to lift heavier doing that because you're using full body lift.
That you have to switch your exercises every 3 weeks to maintain a novel stimulus and constantly shock the muscle. That's complete and utter.
Well, hey, shock the muscle. That's complete utter fakeness. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He made that up. It's fake.
Fucking bullshit, because you want to stick with the same exercises, especially compound exercises.
I will agree with him on there. It is bullshit.
Main lifts that you're striving to master, you want to stick with them for a long period of time because
why do you need to stick with these so-called compound movements? Why for a long time? What is the reason, dude? What's the reason?
primary goal that you should have in the gym is to have a handful of compound exercises that are well suited to you, that work a lot of muscle in the body, and master them. Absolutely master the execution of them and get really, really strong at them over time. That's what leads up to an incredible physique.
So, yeah, that's not what leads up to a good physique. It's because you already have a good physique, because you're a ectomorph, you're a skinny kid, get it? And you're eating carbohydrates, so it's just pumping your muscles out. Okay, you're going to get better at lifting, at doing those exercises when you practice at it, like a gymnast. A gymnast gets better when they do gymnastics. They're not good at gymnastics if they don't practice at doing them. Get it, dude? So, yeah, it's the same thing. You have to get strong at doing gymnastics. It takes strength. It's a different kind of strength, but it takes strength. It takes strength, trust me. Even skateboarding does. These skateboarders, these bicyclists, it takes strength. It's a different kind of strength. Even doing calisthenics, it takes strength, dude. But it's just a different kind of strength. It's not the same. They're getting good at doing these exercises. You think you're getting strong because, well, I'm using metal weights instead of doing body exercises or gymnastics. No, not necessarily. You just got better at lifting those weights, that's all. You never really got stronger because you're small and you never built any muscle. It's not that strength that you're creating is not based on any muscles, on any natural muscle strength, because you need to stop lifting, stop eating carbohydrates, and then you need to see what your natural strength is. When that phony strength goes away, you need to see what your natural strength is if you actually built real muscle. But you've never built muscle in your entire life, so you don't know what that feels like. You don't know what the feeling is like to have natural strength and be like a brute. You understand me? And you never will. I really doubt he will. He never will.
A lot of people think it's boring because they're not switching their workouts every few weeks, but that's where the real gains are made, because the first
No, that's not where the gains are made. The gains are made through getting myofibrillar growth and then massing the myofibrillars up, and then you need to continue stacking, getting more myofibrillars so that you can continue growth, and then those myofibrillars get bigger through these nuclei. They synthesize protein. That's how you do it. You have to keep getting myofibrillars once that domain hits an MND size limit, to keep increasing it. And what will be the driver of that? When protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown, you being in a positive nitrogen balance. That's how it works. That's how it works. Like building a house with bricks and mortar. You put bricks down, you slap mortar on it, then you put the bricks down, and then you lay them down, and you keep laying bricks with mortar. That's how it works. And then it dries and it gets stronger. And as it dries and gets stronger, you keep laying down more mortar and more bricks. And it gets stronger, it gets bigger and stronger. That's how it works. But you're not doing it that way. You're doing it wrong.
4 weeks of doing a new exercise, you're actually just making neural adaptations to that exercise. You're not actually stimulating.
Yeah, you are doing that the whole time. I would agree. You are making neural adaptations and androgen receptors. And that's the strength that you're getting the whole time. The whole time.
Growth, you're building real strength. It's really in those later periods of time.
You're not building real strength. You're building force production. You're not building strength based on physical strength, because you never built any muscle.
In your training cycles where you're really stimulating growth, where you've mastered the exercise, every set you do is maximum muscle fiber recruitment, right? So you want to stick with the same compound lifts for long periods of time, master them, get as strong as you can at them. And then with the isolation exercises, you can rotate them every 2 to 3 months to keep things fresh in that sense and avoid overuse injuries.
That's such baloney, man. Overuse injuries. Overuse injuries, then what is the point going to the gym if you're getting overuse injuries? It means you're weak. If you're getting injured, you're weak. It's just ridiculous. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm done with this.
Why do you...
I guess that's the end of the video, man. Claim your free training linked in the description below. This kid's funny. He wants to be a fitness guru. Incredible.
Why did you finish it?
Now I am. Raw, authentic, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Looks at the camera.
Got it. Well, you're not gonna use that fucking, yeah. You can't tell me not to look at something and of course I'm gonna look at it.
Oh, brother, man. Anyways, I gotta go. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. You think this guy can make it as an influencer? An influencer slave. I don't know what to classify him, what to call him in this video, in the title. I gotta figure it out, man. Maybe just lifting slave or something, fitness slave. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Yeah, comment down below, helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends.